The two biggest things I see around men and women continuously attracting partners or employers, friends, family that constantly disrespect, disapprove, and dishonor them is this. Number one, they back down from hard conversations way too quick. For example, if somebody in your life has said something to you that has hurt your heart, or maybe made you feel used, taken advantage of, dishonored, and you finally get the balls to speak to them and share your truth, and it's met with defensiveness. Maybe they say, I didn't say that. That's not what I said. That's not what I meant. That wasn't my intention. Or perhaps it's dismissive. Maybe they say, oh, you're being too emotional. You're being too sensitive. You're being too much. Why are you always making a big deal out of things? Or perhaps it's deflecting. Well, they say, well, you always do that. You always get angry. You do this. And instead of taking any responsibility, they deflect the blame back to you. So when you're met with these type of conversations, what I see endlessly in my practice is that instead of people having these hard conversations, they back down way too quick. So maybe they get angry, maybe they take a little dig and say it, well, you do this, or you're so selfish. They do this little dig back, maybe they walk away, or they just stop having these conversations altogether. The problem with this is it doesn't heal the root of your pain, of your trauma. So unfortunately, if you never stand up for yourself, speak out your truth, speak out your needs, speak out your feelings, the universe will continuously put the same type of people into your life. This is why, we date our parents endlessly again and again and again until we lose our minds. Or this is why, you try to get a new job and you keep attracting employers that are controlling or bullies or don't believe in you or that are disrespectful and power tripping. Or, maybe you keep getting the same arguments with friends. And it's because these traumas live in your body. They are a magnet. You are the creator of your world. You're constantly pulling in experiences that are a reflection of your inner world. Your inner world creates your outer world. So in order to shift these patterns in your life, this is what has to happen. As I said, number one, you need to have hard conversations. So instead of backing down, I would call that person out again on their defensiveness, on what they just said, instead of backing away. You want to become like an oak tree instead of a tumbleweed. You want to become unwavering in your self-worth, in your advocacy, your self-advocacy. So I remember the first time my dad, when I had to bring up a really hard conversation with him, and he was so emotionally avoidant. He came from a family that never spoke about feelings. If anything, you were shamed for having feelings. You were shamed for being emotional, upset, too much, too needy. You were shamed for having any needs at all. So the very first time I brought this up to him, it was terrifying for me because I didn't even think I fully felt worthy of having these needs. But I had done a lot of inner deep work to build me up to that state to finally have the guts and the ovaries to have this type of conversation. And I remember when I finally said, Dad, I need to talk to you about, it was like an abandonment and abuse that happened when I was 3, a sexual abuse. And the very first thing he did when I told him this is he rolled his eyes. He says, "Here we go again." And my heart broke. And instead of backing down, I said to him, "Dad, when you roll your eyes like that, after hearing about what I shared with you and what I went through, it makes me feel like you don't care about my heart." It breaks my heart. And he just was stunned because he had been so used to me being passive aggressive, being name calling, just like backing away, shutting down. And so I just stood my ground and I didn't waver. And again, he tried to kind of be dismissive, and I said, "Dad, I need you to listen to my feelings. Do you care about me? When you don't listen to my feelings, it makes me feel like you don't love me, Dad." And it just was like, whew. And people would be like, "I love you, I love you." And this is how I would respond to that. If you love me, I'm asking you to listen and acknowledge my feelings so that I can feel more connected with you. Because right now I don't, and that makes me sad. So, number one, stop backing down. We need to stop backing down. And I know it's scary. And this is where the deep inner work comes in. And this is what I help people with. Number two, it's how you say it. If you go to somebody and you say, "You always do this and you never do this," and, of course you're going to be met with resistance. How you say it is everything. It's about speaking your truth with vulnerability. And until you have really gone in and done the deep work to embrace that vulnerability within yourself, it's going to be very, very, very difficult to do it with others. So number two, it's about being vulnerable and coming at it from a space of love. So when I speak to people, I would come up to them and say, if I'm having a hard conversation, I would say, "Sweetheart, I really need to talk to you about something. I really care about our relationship and I always want to feel connected to you. And when I'm not, it breaks my heart. And so this is why I have to share this with you, because I always want to feel in a state of love with you." So it's about coming at it from the right space and really speaking your needs in a way that's like, when you did this, I feel this. So this is just baby steps. This is the baby steps to starting on how to have juicy conversations. But the truth is, your patterns will keep continuing until you step in and honor yourself, until you decide to keep advocating for yourself, valuing yourself. No one else is going to do it. So if having these juicy, succulent, conscious types of relationships lights you up, if you're no longer willing to just not be heard, not be acknowledged, not have relationships with people that have your back, then DM me, DM or comment below. Yes, please. Because I would love to help you finally create a community, a tribe, family that you can share authentically with, that you can have these hard conversations with, that you can be seen with. I talk to so many clients where they maybe have one person or no people, no one that they can share their authentic feelings with. And that breaks my heart. I remember I used to be the exact same way. I wouldn't have one person. Why? Because I wasn't showing my vulnerable self to the world. And I was attracting all the avoidance in my life. And now there's not one friend I have that can't have the hard conversations with me. And where I can't be my most weirdo, authentic, ridiculous, angry, whatever self it is on that day. So if this sounds like you, if having juicy, conscious relationships sounds like something you want to do, comment below. Yes, please. And we'll see where you are and where you want to go and what's stopping you. So much love. Chat soon.